What's up guys, my name is Ace, and in case you missed it today, Infinity Ward posted a community update, and they're just talking about a bunch of new features as well as content that's going to be coming to Infinite Warfare, some of it very soon, and some of it is going to be coming over the next few weeks. So today we're going to be talking about all of these features and this content. I'm going to share it with you guys as well as my thoughts on it, and towards the end, I want to share what I feel could be done, what other features could be added to improve this game overall. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so hopping into the update here, I'm basically going to read it off and then just share my thoughts on it. First off, it looks like by the end of the month, they're going to be adding an ability to rotate your rigs in the menus 360 degrees so you can see them like all the way around. You could do this with Black Ops 3 Specialists, and I mean, it's a nice little feature. I feel it's something that'll just make the game look a little bit more polished. Honestly, it has no impact on my enjoyment to the game, I would say, but it is cool that they're adding stuff like this. In addition to this, in the winner's circle, your rig is now going to be carrying the last gun that you used, including the customization that was on that gun. And again, that's another like really minor feature, but a lot of people have been calling for that. They want to see their guns that they've earned their camos for and show it off in that winner's circle to everybody. So I would say this is another minor yet welcome change. The next thing in this update is they say they're going to be adding new content on a regular basis to keep gameplay fresh. And it also says to be sure to visit the Quartermaster regularly to see what new items the robot has to offer. So with this one, I'm not 100% sure what this could mean. Does this mean they're going to be adding new guns or new variants like every single week or every couple days? Or like how is this going to be going on? Because I already feel like they've been adding variants on a very regular basis. Like there's already been lots of new variants and stuff. And in addition to this, there was a leak in the code that suggests that there are new guns coming, brand new guns completely. I don't want to talk about it too much. Talking about leaks isn't always the greatest thing, but it is all on Reddit and stuff if you guys want to go and check it out. But it looks like we are going to be getting even more content added to the Quartermaster, which I think is a good thing overall. It just adds more variety to the game. I realize not everybody likes this, but for me at least, I think like new variants and stuff, they usually don't significantly impact the gameplay. A bunch of the new variants when they come out, it's not like I feel that the game is just suddenly completely changed and the whole meta changes because a few new variants have been added. Not at all. It basically just offers a few new things to play around with, and they behave slightly different than the base guns. So overall, I'm all for this. I'm really wondering what they mean by this because I already feel like they've been coming out regularly with new variants, but who knows, maybe they're going to be coming out with variants even more often than they already are. The next thing in the community update here that they talked about is the Emblem Editor. It looks like that is going to be postponed a little bit. I think we're planning on releasing it like right around now, but it looks like they've got some bugs or something with it, and it now looks like we won't see the Emblem Editor until about mid-March. And this is a little bit disappointing. I think this is a much more important feature to have than like rotating your character 360 degrees, and I realize that it's different people working on different things, so it's not like they necessarily put this off so that they could deal with the 360 rotating rigs or anything. But this is something that I really like because it really shows off your personality. You can be really unique with this. You can be artistic with this, unlike just choosing an emblem or choosing some sort of customization on your rig that's already a preset thing. I would love to have my logo back on my emblem so that everybody can see that it's me, or I also really enjoy seeing what other people have to create. I know some of it is like really stupid and vulgar and childish and stuff, but some of it is super artistic and looks amazing, and I'm a little disappointed to see this postponed, but at the end of the day, this doesn't affect the gameplay at all, and I'm still having a great time with the game. I'm just slightly disappointed that we're not seeing this Emblem Editor sooner. In addition to this, we finally got confirmation that a new mission team is being added. There's been tons of leaks in the past. It was very clear that there was a new mission team in the code, but now it's been officially confirmed by Infinity Ward, which is awesome. Also, that new mission team looks like it's going to have its own equipment, which could mean like lethals and tacticals. I'm not too sure on that, and also gear to chase. Another thing that's great to see that they finally confirmed as well is they're going to be increasing the prestige levels to grant a fresh challenge to the most skilled players. This is something that I think was needed about a month ago, but I'm glad they're finally doing it. I hope it happens like within the next week because I realize there are tons of people that are sitting on that Master Prestige right now and they want to keep playing the game, but there's really nothing for them to grind for at this point. So they really need to be adding this to keep those players coming back for more. Another thing they've officially confirmed as well is new features for Scorestreaks, and this is most likely the variants that have been leaked all over Reddit. And with these variants, it looks like we are able to get them with salvage, which is great. So it's not just out of supply drops, not just pure luck. We can buy them with salvage if we want. And also, they don't really affect the gameplay too significantly from what I've seen in these leaks. So it looks like every Scorestreak has a little bit of an upside, but also a downside to balance it out. And overall, they seemed completely fair and balanced just looking at their descriptions in those leaks. So I'm totally fine with these variants. It just adds more variety to the game. And I would say not a bad thing so far, but we'll see how they end up playing out. So finally, the last thing in this update is they're going to be adding polls, which give us a say in the featured weekly game mode. If you guys haven't noticed, pretty much every week there is a different game mode that's the featured game mode. And now it looks like we're going to be able to vote for which one we want next week. And I think this is great. It just adds that community engagement and gets people more involved. So what are my overall thoughts and opinions on this community update here? First off, I will say that I still feel they nailed gameplay quite well in this game. The gameplay elements are excellent. Overall, I have a great time when I'm in the game, and most of the issues and the lack of polish comes from the menus and customization. Things like that I feel like just don't stack up against Black Ops 3, for instance. So this community update is going to be pushing those areas to that next level, which I think is excellent, even though we are like several months into the game's life cycle now. And it would have been nice to see these things right from the beginning or within at least the first month or so. So it's unfortunate that it's taken so long for some of these things, but at the same time, they're still working on it, and it's great to see that they're still dedicated to improving the experience of Infinite Warfare. Again though, like I said, none of this seems to really be impacting gameplay significantly, and I'm fine with that because I feel like gameplay is already very solid in this game. That's just my personal opinion. I know not everybody has the same experience that I do, but overall, I'm really enjoying myself with it. As for a few features that I would love to see added in the future, first off, groups. I would love to see the group system return like we had in Black Ops 3. This was excellent for me as a streamer to interact and play with you guys. It made it so easy to just grab a lobby full of viewers and you guys could come and play with me for a couple games, and after a couple games I could leave and I could get another lobby really quickly. And it was just so helpful, and I know a lot of other people that aren't streamers and stuff, they were using that to group up with friends or just like-minded people, and I think it was just an excellent feature and would love to see it added to Infinite Warfare. In addition to this, something else that I feel could be taken from Black Ops 3 that I would love to see is daily and weekly contracts for keys. This was an excellent idea. It really keeps you coming back for more. It also gives you something to work towards when you're actually in game, so it's not just like a menu feature or something like that. It's something that actually affects how you're playing the game and what you're using and how you're approaching situations, and I really enjoy that, and I hope that this eventually comes to Infinite Warfare. The final feature that I can think of off the top of my head, as for like my top 3 features that I'd like to see, is a disabled DLC button. It looks like we're going to have our first DLC now integrated into regular rotation, so when you search for just like a normal team deathmatch mode, if you have the DLC, it's going to start popping up. This is usually okay for the first DLC, maybe 2 DLCs, but historically in Call of Duty, as soon as we start getting to that usually 3rd or 4th DLC, the community gets very fragmented, and it seems like connections and overall gameplay just goes straight downhill. This is one of the biggest issues with Black Ops 3 in my opinion. It's where it really fell down is if you had DLC, I found connections to be far worse than if you didn't have DLC, and there was no option to disable it, and on PS4, I don't think you could even delete it without completely reinstalling your game. And even then, I'm not even sure if you could delete the DLC. Modern Warfare 3 had the simplest solution, just a simple button you could hit in the menu before you search for a game that just says Disable DLC. So that way, if you realize connections aren't really that great, maybe you're playing in like an off-peak sort of hour, and you don't really need to play the maps, and you just want to try to get that best connection experience possible, you could disable the DLC, and the connection would generally be better. Same thing goes for if you're playing like a lesser played game mode. If I wanted to play some like Hardpoint, for instance, it already is decently hard to find a game of Hardpoint, I find. And with DLC being implemented in, and it fragmenting the player base a little bit, I feel like it's going to be literally impossible to find a Hardpoint game within a couple minutes of searching. So I would love to see a group system, a contract system, as well as a disabled DLC button. I'm hoping we'll see that in our next community update. We'll just have to wait and find out, but I would love to see all of those features implemented to this game, and I feel these would definitely improve the life cycle of Infinite Warfare. So I'd like to know in the comment section below. First off, what do you think of this community update that they posted? What do you think of all the things they're going to be adding and changing? And also, what other features would you like to see added to Infinite Warfare to just improve the game overall? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.